Well, hope you're having a pleasant afternoon. It's the 21st of June. I think it's the first day of summer. Temps in the 80s and 90s out here in eastern Pennsylvania. And we just came across a hell of a sight at the gas station here. It's an F-150 with the 5.0 Coyote V8 pulling what looks to be at least a 30-foot camper. I mean, at least a 30-foot camper. We got our 28-foot Featherlight hitched up to the Super Duty here. And that is an enormous trailer to be pulling with an F-150. You see it's got a little bit of a squat, not too bad. But the problem is, the F-150, which we have driven 70,000 miles on our, almost 75,000 on our 3.0 Power Stroke, baby Power Stroke F-150, and we put 60,000 on our Power Boost before we got rid of it. We would never think of hitching up a 30-foot trailer. Not because the engine can't get it moving, and not really because the brakes can't stop it, but it's just a matter of stability. That truck does not have the weight to be stable, to be able to hold that trailer in all the kinds of conditions you're going to experience, like crosswinds and like maybe emergency lane changes and things of that nature. And it is way too easy to jackknife a small light truck like an F-150 with either the weight or with the it's like the polar moment on a trailer like that, the amount of sway, or just if the wind gets a hold of it. I mean, we've been out through Kansas and eastern Colorado on I-70 and seen one 18-wheeler after the next flipped over on its side by heavy winds, which would easily do that to an F-150 pulling a 30-foot camper, especially a bumper pull, not even a gooseneck or fifth wheel. Now, at the same time, the Power Stroke diesel F-150 can handle this 28-foot Featherlight without too much trouble. It's just light on power and light on payload, but that's okay. You just make sure not to load it over the GVW of that truck, which is 7,100, and I forget what the gross combined weight is. And you make sure not to max out the steer axle or the drive axle. And as long as you do that, and as long as you watch your speed and try not to hot rod it, you can actually handle a 28-foot Featherlight, which doesn't have too much pin weight, meaning hitch weight. And we've done it. We've taken this trailer on, I don't know, a 2,000-mile road trip down to South Carolina and back. Pick up a ton of combat tourniquets in the past, and it was just no big deal. Again, it was kind of slow going up and down some of those steeper hills, like on I-81, places like that. But it could handle it, and it didn't have an issue with stability, and it didn't have an issue with overloading the drive axle or the steer axle, and it didn't have an issue with getting pushed around by the weight of the trailer or pushed around in crosswinds. Again, because of how much safer a gooseneck is as compared to a conventional or a bumper pull. But anyway, that's just the observation of the day. Something else to pass along on this Super Duty. It's 2 years old. It's running great. It's had no issues so far, and we've talked about that at length. But one thing I'll point out, maybe when we get done here, is the spray in bed liner. It's starting to peel up in at least one place. And it was kind of disturbing to see it today for the first time, actually. And we were doing something else, dropped the tailgate, and all of a sudden you saw like about a 6 or 8 inch strip of the spray-in, whatever they call it, tough bed Ford bed liner already starting to peel up and let go after only 2 years. And so that's kind of a disappointment. It wasn't in the worst location, and we'll show you here in a second. But it's just a little bit annoying for what you're paying. And it doesn't make us regret that we got it. It's just again, a little bit of an irritation. Other than that, like I've said before, this truck is aged just fine. We haven't put an enormous amount of miles on it, but it has held up just great. And it's been through 2 Michigan winters. It's been through some nice hot summers, and it's pulled our big 48-foot X's trailer without any issues. I'm actually gonna kill it here. That trailer looked pretty good back there. A little bit on the small side. The 48-footer looks a little more appropriate on this thing. And you actually have surprisingly little clearance between that spare tire and the tailgate here. But check this out. You see the tough bed liner starting to peel up. And maybe it's just that it's in an awkward location and there isn't enough of it there to get a good grip. But it has, in just 2 years since we got this truck, just 2 years, it has already peeled up. And we don't see it in any other location anywhere else besides that one section back there. But you know, it's a little bit annoying. Makes you wonder how much prep they do in the bed. Other than that, this thing's running great. And I think that's all for now. And I hope you all are having a good weekend, enjoying the start of your summer. We will be doing about 500 miles of driving tomorrow, no big deal, heading out to Michigan. Either with this thing or with the F-150, maybe with our 12-foot trailer. Too easy. All right, well, thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.